Hello again there, friends and fans. Raptor here, and welcome back to Surviving the Aftermath. This is a wonderfully amazing game, and you all wanted to see more, and in a previous look at this game for the 4th update, which includes some new things for researching and new tech trees, you all told me that we should restart from scratch and rebuild society and survive the aftermath in Surviving the Aftermath. Keep in mind, this game is available now on the Epic Games Store, but will be available on Steam upon full release sometime later this year. We're going to get started by building ourselves a fresh new colony. After 4 updates, the first one including more resource gathering abilities, the second update allowing you to trade and find other societies, the third update allowing you to find vehicles and to be able to travel across the map much faster, and now the 4th, more recent update allowing you to do much more in terms of research and tech trees and unlocking things. And I would argue that it is much more challenging now, even on the easiest settings, to do anything, as much more time must be spent researching and gathering. However, the developers have also balanced it by providing much more for you to gather and more ways to get resources. So we'll see how it goes. Again, this game is completely unfinished, but again, is available on the Epic Games Store now, and again, coming to Steam later. Let's go ahead and build Raptoria yet again, and in order to see as much of the game in the shortest amount of time possible, I found it the best just to go with the easiest settings, though it might make things easier in terms of like finding fertile soil, for example, in order to plant crops. It still makes for a much more difficult game with all the updates being unknown territory. Of course, the game is constantly changing and being updated, and so each time that there's a fresh new update, we're tasked with starting over, since it won't save, and of course, new game rules makes it like a whole new game again. So we'll just go down the easy route, as it says here, easy exploration. But again, that allows us to see many more episodes in a short amount of time. Alright, get ready for the city of Raptoria yet again. Glory to Raptoria down below in that comment section, and if you have not yet smacked, destroyed, or blown up that like button, please do, to let me know that you would like to see more of Surviving the Aftermath. And of course, to show your support. But the greatest way to support the channel, as always, is just to subscribe or become a member by clicking and tapping that join button next to the sub button as well. It is an awesome way to support the community. Alright, let's go ahead and go with Glory to Raptoria. There we are. Gloria Stefan? No, Glory to Raptoria. There we are. Alright, guys, I'll see you when we get into the game. Here we go. Well, here we are. Glory to Raptoria. It is not much yet, but it will be someday soon. We have some car parts here in order to build our main gate. As soon as we've unlocked that technology, we'll be able to go out and explore more. And we've got our 12 survivors here without any homes, with just basically a stockpile, that survival bunker, and of course a stockpile for food, which has been updated in the way it looks and appears on the map. Okay, well, what I'd like to do is something different than what we've done before. I'd like to take a look around a little bit here and see what our landscape is like. Wow, is that a giant volcano? It looks like a nuke dropped right into the middle of that mountain range. That's crazy. What I'd like to do here at our city is build further away from the gate than we ever have before. And now we see things here like ruined wooden homes, which provide more wood than ever before as well. There should also be concrete buildings and whatnot. The city, per usual, is surrounded by mountains and by a giant moat of water, too, so there's really no way that anybody can attack us yet. There's a large tunnel there that you see people can come in and out of to enter the city, so we're pretty well fortified. Large concrete ruins there as well will provide us with some good building materials and lots of fresh and safe-looking water, at least, for us to drink from. Well, in this game now, with the tech tree being the way it is, and with no tech points unlocked, we're only pretty much allowed to start by trapping and fishing, so it might be a good idea for us to build near a forest and near a lake. So let's go. Up here would be a perfect spot to build our city, actually. 3 lakes nearby, 4 actually, that allow us to immediately start fishing, and fishing is a really great start to the city, I think. Oh, there's quite a bit of nuclear waste there, though, so this might be a better spot to build the city here, and then we can start gathering from all the fruits. And let's see here. Looks like some good territory over here as well to gather materials. Okay, well, let's start with the layout. It is a very good idea in this game, no matter what difficulty you're playing on, is to start the game on pause in order to lay out your city and get all the resources in that you need. In fact, on second thought, it might be better to build down here. Looks like there's plenty of space, lots and lots of space to build all of our buildings. All right, let's go ahead and start. We'll go ahead and put down 2 of these. I believe it can hold 6 colonists each. So with 12 being homeless, we'll build 2 small emergency shelters to get started. We'll also move our food storage and such over here a little bit later, but we'll get started on that as soon as we can. Looks like the efficiency of our water wells are quite high, so long as we put them spread out a little bit. And there's no consequence to building. You'd think building your water well near nuclear waste would be a bad thing, but in this game there doesn't seem to be any consequence for doing that. We'll start with 2 of those. Let's also build our roadway then. We'll have to make that road go down this way. So let's start with the dirt road going towards the main gate, all the way towards the bottom. And then we'll have to weave it through some nuclear waste to get down to there. That's where the main gate is. So we might actually go even further. Let's undo that, if we can. And we'll make it go all the way down to the main gate. Fantastic. Alright, so we can build some other buildings near the main gate. Perhaps our trading depots and military buildings will be useful down here. There we go. And then we can delete a little bit of the road too, so let's do that. Excellent. So now we have a road up to our housing area, and we'll start gathering food and such from here. So let's go ahead and begin our day. Day 1. 12 colonists now need to survive in Raptoria by constructing their new homes. So they'll gather all those materials and head up there. And they won't take the road, obviously, because it's not yet constructed, but eventually they will do that, and it'll allow them to traverse much faster. Alright, well, let it all begin. 2 little outposts there. What else can we build in the meantime? Might be a good idea to build more stockpiles. Maybe near the entrance. Oh yeah, there's a lot of supply around here actually, so it might be a good idea to build 4 of those. They can become quite full if you don't immediately take action on building more of those. So there we go. We'll gather concrete and wood with anybody who's free. So homes are being constructed. We should also build a fishing hut. I'd prefer to build a Pizza Hut or maybe a Domino's, but I guess all we can do now is a fishing hut. So we'll build that here to increase efficiency. Workplace efficiency is at 100%. So let's build that there. If we overlap, they will lose efficiency. But actually, it doesn't look like they will. So we can build another one here at 100%. So we'll get those 2 constructed, since it'll take a very long time until we can research farming. Alright, looks like the workers are already assembling the tents. Very good. Very, very good. Camping is intense, by the way. Very high strung. Alright, scrappers and recyclers are to be built next, as well as a forester, which will allow us to plant trees and then later cut them down. So we'll go ahead and start with that as well. So a scrapper and recycler will be built. And I'm going to make this our industrial area down here by the entrance. This is where all the trading activity and industrial gathering and such will take place. So we'll build ourselves a scrapper and also the recycler here. New research allows them to gather much faster, by the way, with crowbars and other things to pull metal out of these giant piles. You can see cars and trucks stacked up there, as well as tons of trash, which can be recycled here. A lot of plastic can be pulled out, cut up, and used for things like roofing and basic clothes and things like that, I would imagine. But unfortunately, it only is a fiber, which will then need to be used by the tailor. 1 home has been completed. Excellent work. Very, very good, Raptoria. Excellently done. Alright, 2 places here for fishing. And then, of course, our new stockpiles, which I believe are free to build. They just need to construct them by going over there for a brief second or 2. We're going to try to gather all the materials near the HQ, or the gate, I should say. There we go. We're going to try to have each one of these little sections go to a different area. We'll also need to start gathering food very, very shortly, which means that we will need to designate a gathering area for berries. Right now, berries are the only thing they can gather, but it would be cool if there were other things eventually for them to gather from. Maybe things like nuts and mushrooms and other stuff off in the forest. Alright, looks like we got 4 berry bushes there. That'll be very good for us. And once we build our gate, you can actually see all these roads here. We'll be able to send out scouts in order to look around our city and find out what's around us, and then also possibly gather resources such as cars and such to bring back here. A very good asset for us in order to travel much faster. Alright, 6 more colonists are homeless. Just need to build that second building. Let's ensure that that is a top priority. There we are. And everything else will be constructed next. We'll then make the fishing post probably the next thing to be built. So we'll put these on lower priorities down here. Oh, never mind, they've already built the scrapper, and somebody's already at work at it. Not bad, actually. Eventually we will need to gather metal for the wall, so that's just fine. Although we'll lower this one to lower priority just to make sure we get food first. Additional food, such as the fishing docks. Alright, looks like we're also building at the well, so they will need to go grab some stuff from that. Water is definitely something we don't want to pause and wait for. That should be immediate, just in case we get a drought as one of our first starting disasters. But eventually we'll destroy these wells and go for better wells, such as an oil derrick that can be converted to pump out well water rather than oil. We see another barn here. That's nice. 58 wood sitting there. That's quite a lot of wood for us, especially at the start. Will give us a good boost. So workers will come over here at random and start dropping off resources. So let's lay out our roads then, since we got some of our buildings down. Make a road maybe that goes around the stockpile. We'll give it a little extra space here on this side. And we can always decorate and put some other stuff here too to make it look real fancy. There we go. That looks like an official road into it. And eventually we'll get rid of that well. Very good. So it won't be until later until we see the full update of the game. Update 3 again, bringing in vehicles for us to drive around and the ability to repair them, and also making fuel. We'll need to be able to either find fuel at abandoned gas stations, or we can refine it into biofuel from planting sunflowers and then making sunflower oil out of that and then refining that into fuel. A very long process, but definitely worth it. All right, looks like some of our fishing docks are requiring wood. So as you'd imagine, at the very start of the game, it is extremely important for all these other buildings to be built all at once. We need plastic, we need metal, we need other things like that. So we're already starting work on that. Luckily, this metal scrapper brings back metal and then immediately turns it into scrap there at the area. And I think it's stored somewhere out here. So keeping our industrial areas all together is a good call. Alright, second home is being constructed. Looks like just 2 concrete blocks are required for that, and it looks like they've got it. They've also made some additional water for that. You can see our production is 15, consumption is 12, balance then is +3, which then is stored in the old destroyed bunker here as well. Just makes it a little more convenient in order to have additional water, just in case a drought strikes or something along those lines. Also, these thermal vents coming up from the ground, this could be maybe an old pipe of some sort, somehow shooting steam, or it could be a geothermal site. It'd be cool in the future if there's some sort of way to harness that energy. Very, very cool. Obviously, it would take research to do, but it would also be great if it were a top-level research that produced a lot of power. Okay, the emergency shelter now has everything it needs, and by the end of the first night, some of the homeless people should be able to have a place to stay. So let's speed up time a little bit. We're now working on hour 1 of day 1. Or I guess our first full day. Well, maybe that takes place at noon. We're already an hour into the next day. So we must have started during the middle of the next day. Alright, well, the tent is almost complete. They're approaching the halfway point. Very nice. Okay, so once that's complete, we're going to work on the gate. So in order to get the gate ruins up and running, let's see what we need to do. Well, we won't be able to get any tech for that. It'll have to be under security. So I wonder how we would do that. Maybe it's something we can build from the start now. Yes, indeed it is. So we'll start working on the gate as soon as our tent is done. So let me just go ahead and pause that for now. And of course, the front gate allows us to go out and explore and bring in more specialists, which will then go across the map and gather resources for us, which makes everything much, much easier than just being in this one city. Gathering all the resources at the city is good, but gathering them from the main world is even better. Alright, all 12 colonists now have a place to stay. Excellent. Let's go ahead and start making fishing more important, and then of course water as well. Looks like they built the additional wells. That's very good. And then we're going to put some time now into the recycler. Let's go ahead and have that delivered. So anybody who's not working any jobs is now gathering either wood or concrete from around the map, or food. Currently we have 61, which is all... Oh, looks like we actually have some supply with us. We have 25 potatoes, 21 canned fruit, 13 jerky, and then a little bit of berries from them gathering around the map. So that's good. That means most people are working on construction, which is very nice. All right, the recycler is at low priority. I'm going to go ahead and pause that as well. I want our people first to work on fishing, so that way when we build the gate, we will immediately get a person to come to the gate, and they may bring additional people with them. So I'm at least wanting to make sure we have enough food and then we'll have to build some more homes too. But we're going to have to save all of our resources right now for the gate, otherwise we won't be able to build it. Eventually the road will get built as well. It just takes tools to do, but then eventually we can upgrade it to stone, and I believe it also is built for free. You just need to research stone roads. It doesn't take any cinder blocks, at least as far as I know, unless the update changed that. Looks like we got some hungry people. Good, they're going to grab some grub. Eventually I'll move the food up here near the homes, so that way at night people can go home, grab some food, and get rested up for the next day. Glory to Raptoria. I love playing this fresh. This is very good. After 4 updates, it definitely feels like a much more complete game than it had the first time. So it's nice to be giving that one a shot. Alright, scrappers making a lot of metal. That is fantastic to see that being stored right away. It looks like we've got 30 metal, 11 plastic. We just need some more wood now. So let's go ahead and authorize the construction of the gate. It looks like the biggest thing we're going to need now is wood. Let's also make that a top priority. There we are. So any free hands should be going to gathering wood. Oh, we're also having other projects, though, of the docks, too. So let's maybe put those on pause until the gate is completed. We'll have that ready next, then. And hopefully putting it on pause means all materials are delivered to the gate. If we're working on multiple projects at the same time, that's totally fine as well, because once we have additional people come in from the gate, we can then get a full labor force on construction, but everyone else who comes in can then work on gathering to finish those other projects that are halfway complete. So that'll allow them to finish it much faster. You can see the gate coming together now. It looks like an overpass sign that's tipped down. Some sort of a toll booth there. Some other vehicles such as like an engineering truck, some random cars that have been flipped over, and another, what looks to be maybe a large truck there too, or car of some sort. Okay, I have angered the gaming gods. I am so sorry. That must have been someone smashing like. Thank you, kind sir. That was very nice of you. Wow, that can happen at random. Meteorites can come in without warning and smash a building. So there are upgrades eventually that we can research to increase the durability of our buildings, which means that when they do take damage, they're just more affordable to repair. So if, for example, our scrapper here takes a direct hit, it'll be out of commission, but it'll take just a little bit less concrete and wood to repair it to get it functioning again, since the building was of higher quality. Alright, well that scrapper is bringing in quite a lot of metal. That is fantastic to see, and it looks like we've got 6 out of 20 wood ready to go at the main gate. That is very good. More berries coming in too. Very nice. And let's take a look at the homes. Looks like everybody is doing alright. Look at that. You got kids walking around too. Another part of update number 4 brings in new sprites or models for the people walking around in your town. So they all are wearing different clothing, and they all look a little bit more unique than they had before. We've got ourselves 6 out of 20. Hopefully all that wood gets brought right over to the gate. We should see this man here then. Look at that champion just walking over with a full pallet of 2x4s. Wow. And drops it off right there. So we are almost ready to build this thing, 9 out of 20. So keep on bringing that wood over, boys. And there he goes with another load. Fantastic. And they're really bringing in the materials now. Glory to Raptoria. Good job, everybody. Fantastic. We'll work on that recycler next, as we should have enough. Yep, we do have enough plastic for that, so we're just focusing on the wood now. Eventually we'll be able to make firewood, and we'll be able to make planks with a sawmill, but we will probably need to clear a forest for that. And a good idea in this game is to, this area here, for example, you see is fertile soil. So we probably want to first clear cut this area, get all the trees out of here, so that way we can then build farmland on top of that. So 1, we'll get a nice boost to our wood supplies, and then 2, we can start farming on that area as well, without just building a farm there immediately. Would be a nice feature in the game, such as games like Ostriv or Banished or whatnot. When you build something somewhere, it'll take the resources from that area first and remove them and put them into your stockpile before it actually constructs the building, which might help to build certain buildings. If you build a large structure that takes a lot of wood and you place it here, these trees could be cut down and then used on the site to construct the building, like in times of log cabins. Alright, the gate is complete for all of the construction materials required, and now the Raptorians are building it. Look at that, framework's going up, fantastic. Now it's just going to take a few hands to construct it, and Raptoria will be secure. This isn't my first time actually building away from the gate, and I really like that. Now, I also want to build some other things over here too. So usually I build just right in front of the main entrance, but this time we're going to mix it up and make little neighborhoods in our city and try to make it a lot more bigger and intricate than we ever had before. While we're waiting for the construction to complete, let's take a look and see how the modeling of the map actually changes as we go on here. Not the map, but the gate itself. You can actually see it being constructed. And looks like it works that way. And there's our wonderful logos. I actually think the developers put that in for me. I don't want to gloat or anything like that. I think they saw my video and was like, "Oh, this guy sucks. Let's put his logo in here." That'd be cool. All right, we've got ourselves some survivors. These must be new subscribers. Welcome. Survivors are seeking shelters. We have 3 adults, 2 children. They're bringing food, clothing, tools, and some medical supplies with us, and a person named Brock who looks scary as hell. That is a fighter. He was already tough to the bone before the apocalypse. Nobody climbs to the top of a gang by being soft. You can see that from the way he fights without mercy or hesitation, but a long nasty scar across his back explains why he decided to leave the gang. Yep, so he's got good leadership attributes, very good at attacking, which is wonderful, and very good at scavenging. This is a wonderful start for us. So let's go ahead and accept them to our city. Welcome aboard, boys. Now we can explore the main world. We'll start building some homes here in just a second, too, for them. All right, we're going to have him go and grab some grub at the local farm. 33 jerky sitting there for us. So head on out, Brock. Damn, Raptoria's got a warrior. Good job, man. And he'll come back in our next turn. In the meantime, let's go ahead and build a new home for all of our wonderful new citizens. Each small shelter provides homes for 6, so we'll just build 1 then to start with. There we go. And let's go ahead and on-pause construction of the fishing docks, and we are definitely going to need to worry about food. We're going to bring back food with Brock, but we're also going to start fishing now too, and then all these extra hands should be able to either go gather berries, gather materials, or build some of the buildings with those materials, and or construct that little tent there as well, in addition to the 2 fishing buildings. So we should be able to, I would say, probably most efficient to almost build 4 buildings at each lake. We could build another farm or a fishing dock here maybe, and another one here. It all depends on whether or not the coast is nice and smooth or if there's a cliff. I don't think we can build on the cliffs, so we'll see. All right, insufficient construction materials. We'd better actually build that, we better get this recycler up right away, so that way we can get additional construction materials. It will require some more plastic, but the fishing huts will be all right without it. So we'll make sure our recycler is ready, and then we'll put another person on that right away too. Now eventually we'll have to do research on getting some more jobs for our people, more spaces for them to work at. Brock comes back with that wonderful jerky, and let's start exploring the southern side of the map. Alright, that's good. We found an old truck with 40 planks. That's awesome. We can bring back a ton of wood, and that'll really help us to boost our growth. And it looks like we're, missing some wood here too, so that's going to be a good call. All right, people are homeless for a while until we've got enough material for that emergency camp. Eventually, building better homes will allow people to procreate a lot more, and I guess they'll feel a little bit more romantic, so they'll have no problem getting down and dirty with it to have more kids, and then eventually we'll build schools, so that way all those kids can be more productive adults when the time comes. All right, let's see here. Looks like we are just bringing over a few more materials for the construction of the recycler, and then that construction will begin. Now, the recycler will probably be able to use that plastic trash pile there as the closest. I don't see any others that are closer than that, so that'll be a good start for us, nearby and ready to go. All right, construction materials are delivered. Construction is about 3/4 of the way complete as of now, and soon we will have somebody assigned to gathering plastic, so we can build that wonderful tent over there. Let's go ahead and grab that work area and extend it over here. If you would like to increase or decrease the size of your gathering area, just hold control, and you can increase or decrease however large you'd like that gathering circle to go for. That goes for the food tent, the stockpiles, and all the buildings that gather or manufacture. Not manufacture, but gathering buildings, such as the scrapper or the recycler, like I just described. However, the fishing docks can't be moved, though the trapper, I believe, can be changed. So you can have the scrapper, for example, or the trapper over here, and then tell them to go into the woods across the road, that type of thing. All right, Brock is ready to go again. Go grab that wood, man. He is an absolute beast. Look at that. He's carrying 40 planks of wood with him, no problem. All right, he's going to come on back to camp then and help us to expand quickly. So we are gathering plastic. We are gathering metals. That is awesome. We have people gathering fish, I think, too. Yep, so we got one person working at each fish dock now, so they're bringing in 2 fish every 0 days. So it looks like they can gather 2 fish every day, I think is what that means. Not entirely certain, but the next thing we're going to construct is the tents as soon as they've got all the materials for that. And then we can start expanding our city even further by focusing on things like water storage. Oop, looks like we have somebody who's injured. Actually, let's change our prerogative and build ourselves a medical tent for the sick and injured. It's a good spot to squeeze this in right here by this crater. So let's go ahead and put that one right there. And we'll get on constructing that too. That's probably going to require plastic as well. Yeah, 12 as well. So plastic scrappers are going to be very important. The unfortunate thing about recyclers is that they do take quite a bit of building material each time, 16 and 8. So it's almost better for us to first go to the tech tree and start working on things such as crowbars to increase the speed of their gathering. But we'll need to go find somewhere to do some research at the start. For example, a museum or a some sort of like a work camp or something like that. Something to learn about technology around us, that type of thing. That'll make our jobs easier. Not to mention we have to take some time to research too, so that'll take a little bit of our time. Alright, priorities then are food, shelter, and medical treatment to keep our people alive and productive. That's going to be very important for us. Looks like Brock is ready to come on back to camp. Let's do that so we can keep building. And let's send Brock to the southwest this time. And then we'll kind of continue to go clockwise around the map. Unless we find something good. Alright, homes definitely need to be built. All the plastic that's being scrapped is immediately being put towards the homes, I believe. But we equally need the medical tent. Actually, let's put this on pause. I'd like to first get people some homes. I believe his injury... Wow, look at this guy. He is injured. Could have a broken leg. Could be a broken finger. That could just be a really nasty scar or gash. Yet he's still building the roads. Look at that. So I think our people will start taking these roads to get to the town and back and forth from their jobs, so that's kind of nice. Usually it's a good idea to set everything up close together, so once people wake up, they're almost immediately at work by crossing the street. But things are looking just fine here. Alright, food seems to be holding steady. Water is pretty good. We've definitely got a lot of planks now from Brock, and lots of concrete too, though we could use some more. But 10 is a pretty good start to build at least one more building. And it looks like the emergency shelter almost has enough plastic. And I think they should have it now. It was at 9. So with 3, we should have the 12 required, so long as someone brings it on over. And it should be sitting right outside there. I think that's plastic right there. So somebody should carry that over. Oh, you can actually see them throwing stuff into the giant fire through the door. So I assume what they're doing is they're sorting out unusable trash, such as, I don't know, like, let's say something like a crushed bottle, and they're salvaging better things such as like a plastic milk jug or something like that. Some are probably going to be more valuable than others. Brock ready to go southwest. Let's go. And excellent, we have ourselves some research. Fantastic. Oh, and you can kind of see it expands our territory a bit. Kind of nice. Alright, let's go. Alright, we'll make Brock make another move as soon as he's ready. He will then go and get some research done. Let's find our city. There we are. Alright. Oh, I'm sorry these folks had to sleep outside. Well, rough beginning sometimes, but at least the emergency shelter is being constructed, so they won't have to do that ever again. Glory to Raptoria. Things are just taking a little more time now that we've got a lot more to do. And the medical tent will be next. Excellent. No more homelessness. Let's start working on that medical tent. And that should be the only other real building that we need immediately. And it looks like we have some fibers, too. I'd like to get some more plastic going. So I think the first research I want to commit to is the crowbars, so that way we can start gathering stuff on this map ASAP. As soon as materials are in the stockpile, they can immediately be used for construction projects, so that's great. And it looks like more roads are being constructed. And it looks like for the most part, people are taking the roads. There's just a few gaps in there. Looks like there's somebody who wants to talk. Hello there. What's going on? Looting local. A couple of the colonists have spotted some sort of vehicle stuck down a deep crevasse. It might still have some useful stuff left inside, but climbing down without proper gear could be dangerous. They want to try another nonetheless. Alright, let them try. Only one person was injured. Okay. Sometimes it's a dice roll. If they fail, somebody comes back injured or irradiated. If they succeed, you could get like 5 food or 25 logs or something like that. So it's definitely always good to try. And more injured is not a problem, as we have plenty of medical supplies, and our medical tent is almost done. All plastic should be just being converted immediately up there. So hopefully this person is bringing in a lot. Yep, look at that. Gathering the materials and then doing it. You'd think it would just be a basic thing to know to have 2 people work. One person gathers and another person sorts. All right, let's have Brock go to the research center. He's pretty smart, too. He can gather 150 at a time, though he's not the best. But still, he should be able to commit to some research. Excellent. We can start doing 3 research. One thing I'd like to see in this game is the ability to queue research, maybe to pick 5 things at a time, since there is a time limit to it. Looks like we can hire scavenger teams, too, for scrapper and recycler. So those are definitely the first 2 I want to do, so that way we can make the most of those buildings and not have to construct anymore. And that way it saves materials in the long run. So now we need to wait 8 hours. If you hover over this bar here, it'll tell you how many hours you're into. But I wish there was just a constant display on the screen of what time of day it was. So that way, if you started at noon and something took 12 hours to research, then you know it'll be done midnight of the same day, or I guess the beginning of the next day. Fantastic. Well, glory to Raptoria, everyone. We have gotten a great start in our colony, and I think I want to continue on with this one. I'm really enjoying the opportunity to give this one a full start from the beginning and really see everything that's new in the game. Before, just with 1 or 2 or 3 updates, it didn't feel like enough to cover, but I think this is a good start with real good updates of a game that's nearing completion. So congratulations to the dev team for listening to the community and making some wonderful changes. There are mods that'll eventually be available for the game, I'm sure, and it'll be really cool to see what people come up with, especially all the updates coming in the future. You guys are fantastic, so thank you for joining me here today. I will see you guys next time for more Glory to Raptoria. Click or tap that like button on the way out, and I'll see you soon. Thank you, as always, for the support. Goodbye, everyone, and have a great day. See you soon.